everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
I remember when I was little, my mom, she used to be like a video vixen or whatever. She used to like date rappers. Whole time she was just getting fucked on by these. They wasn't even really dating her because they never claimed her. The reason why I know all this information about my mom is because she told us. She literally sat us in the bed and was crying and shit like that over the emails that my dad sent and her sent to each other when they was cheating on they significant others and shit. She wasn't even helping us with the money. Wasn't even paying bills or nothing like that. And then it was the same situation where she was dating T.I. We went to Cascade for King's birthday. We went to the back to see King open his presents and stuff like that, and then we left. It's just the fact that she was showing us off like a purse because she looked so young that she had to prove to the that she was that she had kids so she could get more money out the and she wasn't even helping us with the money. We would literally be at the house by ourselves. Me, my brother, and my sister just sitting in her bed crying, waiting for her to get home. We need our mom. We want you to take care of us.
You want to talk about mothers? Oh, you want to talk about mothers? It's mother time. Okay.
Hey everybody. I'm the mom a lot of you are looking for. It's like thousands of you looking for me, I guess for the past couple days. I wasn't aware till just recently. It's come to my attention that you all have met my son. What a joy, right? This situation ain't funny, but the hilarious part of it all is I've never seen a young man who's almost 30 years old be this consumed with his own mama's and what her be doing and not doing. It's crazy to me. I can see if he came on here and talked about himself and trauma, then I wouldn't even have to make this video. But it's so strange that so many of you over 30 don't think for yourselves and believe most of what this young man is saying. I guess that's how our president got into office, because that's the only thing that makes sense. Some folks just go for anything. Maybe y'all so miserable out here that you just need anything to attach to and ride out with it. First, I want to address the women making videos about me. None of you know me, and you don't even know this story. You don't know half of it, not even a part of it, because my son is not telling the whole truth. Yet you guys decided to go out and make videos against me before you even know if your sister was guilty or not. You just, we finna roll the dice and just get our clout, get our likes and views. Cool. You can do that off of my integrity and the hurt that I feel from all of this. That's cool. Y'all have a right to do whatever you want. So this is me giving my version from my perspective. Before I get started with this long rant, I want to say that the things that my son did go through that are true, that he's not talking about, were traumatic. Our family has gone through tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. So the things that did happen to my son, I do not demean or minimize. What he went through and what he felt is real, and how he was affected was real. But what he's telling y'all is bullshit. This is what we need to get into. I get that everybody's looking for clout, everybody's looking for attention right now, but I want to apologize to the people who are trauma bonding with my son on subjects that he's never experienced. Yet you're giving him feedback because you actually did experience it. And I'm sorry that you were manipulated and gaslit into thinking that y'all shared the same troubles. Because some of you, and I'm seeing what you're writing, is not what he went through. You would think a young man of almost 30 years old wouldn't have time to talk about things that were years ago. Most of this that he's speaking about is from 10, 20, 30 years ago. He wasn't even around. And some of it is from when we stopped talking in 2022. So just to update everybody, nothing has happened to my son between me and him for any of this to go on. He tricked me into reaching out to me this year, pretended that he wanted a relationship so he could manipulate and hurt me, and try to get me into a spell that would cause me to have an episode. And when I tried to check in on him, he spazzed out on me being disrespectful. I told him some things that I thought we could talk about because he's an adult, and he went off and he spazzed out. And he said he will do anything and everything he can to ruin me. This is all because I checked on him. And because I mentioned some things from the past that I said maybe we could discuss, or maybe you need to understand, maybe this is why the relationship seems this way or that way. He didn't want to hear none of that. We have gone to therapy. They have been in therapy. I've been in therapy for years. I have been in therapy for parental abuse from my children for years. Yes, my children had it hard growing up with me. It was hell being my kid because I come from nothing. I don't have anything, anyone, or anybody out here who actually loves me but one person. Not even my own children fuck with me. So I obviously made mistakes. I was forced to have a child, 17 years old, by a man who decided my future for me. And it's just gone downhill since then because I haven't made the best decisions ever since I became a mother and known that I was having a baby at 17 years old in high school. I never claimed to be a good mom, never said that I strived to be a good mom. I have always given my children my best, and my best simply was not good enough. And I felt bad about it. So I apologized, and I came to them and I talked to them about their trauma and their pain. And I asked for us as adults to be in group therapy, but it never happened. My children have been parentally abusing me ever since they became adults. And I just found out recently they've been doing it on purpose as a retaliation for what they experienced as a child due to my mistakes. So they are intentionally doing this. They are intentionally going against me, and nothing has happened since 2022. And what happened in 2022 is I put my disrespectful middle child out because he was trying to put my daughter against me, disrupting our home and lying on me for no reason. And then he tried to bully me. So I called the police and put him out. That's the last time I've seen that boy. We've talked since then, though. Again, nothing's happened. You would think that this boy was 18 years old because we look so young. You would think that he was talking about stuff that happened yesterday. You would think that this pain that you see in his eyes is like from just a couple hours ago. But no, this is unhealed, built up, unresolved everything because he refuses to go get help and get medicated. My son is mentally ill. I will not give you his diagnosis. He was diagnosed, well, he was looked at 3, diagnosed at 4. One of the youngest people to be diagnosed under this particular diagnosis of mental illness. He knows for a fact that he's supposed to go get help. He knows that he's supposed to be medicated. He knows that his illness hurts others. He knows this for a fact. Yet he does nothing about it but sit on social media and post to people like you who are taking your time out of your day to repost this nonsense. 90% of it isn't even real. The fact that you over 30 don't think about the dynamics of this. What young man is not out in the world at this age? He's almost 30 years old. Who isn't out exploring life? Who isn't out enjoying life? Something must have happened in my son's life recently that caused him to use me as the way to escape. I believe, and I'm not saying this 100% accurately, that he allegedly was probably left by his wife. I noticed that a lot of his videos are against women, but my son has supposedly been married for 5 years. From what I understood, I thought happily married. But if you look at his posts, it's not giving that. So this is not nothing to do with me. It don't have shit to do with my, and it don't have shit to do with any of the celebrities that this boy, who is now a man, has thrown under the bus for no reason, telling lies about. This is really alarming that you guys find this entertaining, but my pain is not for entertainment purposes at all. This shit hurt like a... The children that you gave the world to grow up and they turn around and do things like this. This shit ain't no laughing matter. This shit hurts. This is like real crazy that this young man would do this. Don't you have better things to do with your time, son? The saddest part about it is I don't even know everything that he's talking about because it's so jumbled up and mixed up. This boy ain't never had a stepdaddy, never called nobody no stepdaddy. Never. So me and people from Michigan don't know who he's talking about. We can't figure it out. There has been so much said about me, his dad's wife, his siblings, his grandma. I mean, I don't even understand. None of these people have done anything to my son, especially his grandmothers. I don't really know what that's about. I don't even know why her got brought up. I really don't understand it. I don't know why being brought up in the first place, let alone your mama and your grandmama's is weird. Y'all don't think so? It took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to do. I've been told to put a video out. I've been told to leave it alone. I've been told to call the authorities because my son has threatened my life in writing. All because I checked on him and asked him, did he need a hug? And son, is it anything going on? Your videos is coming off like, you know, you feel alone out here. Do you need me? All because I did that. So if you tell them in any capacity that, hey, you're not the only one abused in the situation, they can't see it. I am so far from a narcissist, it's not even funny. It's not even funny. And I've been tested. And just so y'all know, most narcissists don't go get tested. I've been tested. I've been getting therapy for years. My therapist saw this shit today and she was like, what the hell is going on with your children? They are evil and spoiled. And I hate to say it, but she's right. I'm not finna get emotional on this stuff. I'm just finna tell what I need to tell, and then I'm gonna leave this alone because I don't want misinformation going out to other people so that other kids can use his platform to demean and hurt their parents like this stuff is cool. This is not cool. This is not him healing, y'all. This is not him going the course so he can get over it and deal with his trauma. That's not what's happening here. He's not even talking to you about the real trauma that the boy experienced or why he was sent away from my house. He's not telling y'all none of the truth. He's not telling y'all anything that he did as a kid. He's just telling you a troll version, exaggerated perspective of what he's saying is happening. You guys are eating this shit up. Eating it up. It don't make sense. Y'all got to use y'all heads or ask more questions before you go and terrorize and fuck up people's houses. I don't fuck with my kids. I stay to myself. I minds my business completely. That's why you all don't know who I am. You can't find me. You can't find anything I was in. You have no evidence of anything this boy is saying is true. Yet y'all are riding this out and you are antagonizing and harassing other women. Talking about you're the mom. You're the mom. You're going around like, who's the daddy? I the mama. I the mama. It's me. But y'all got folks putting death threats in the comments over this because y'all just listening to one side of the story. Make it make sense. Even like comprehension is everything. And I notice in this country, we don't have that. If you listen to his story and you go through the videos, he literally contradicts himself. Y'all heard celebrities' names and y'all just took the fuck off with it. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. This stuff don't even make sense. The stuff he's saying about these celebrities is less than. It don't even make sense. But y'all take it off with it. So I can't remember every single thing he said. What I will say before I get into this is I can be petty and I can have dark humor, which can come off as me throwing shade. And I'm not trying to do it. It's just the way I talk and the way I am. I'm not trying to throw my son under the bus or anybody under the bus for that matter. I am trying to prevent this being used as a tool to validate others who thinks it's okay to disrespect and hurt your mother who actually took care of you and was there for you through thick and goddamn thin. Regardless of the abuse you gave her. So I don't want this to continue, and I don't want my reputation to continue to be dragged through the mud with other people's names involved who have families and wives and grandchildren now. This was so long ago. This don't even need to be brought up type. I don't understand. Literally, he's talking about his mom's and what she does with it and what he thinks she did with it. So let's get into this. What's the first thing he said? Okay, let me address the thing about his father. I never told my son that his father was touched by any man by his grandmother's people, ever. Never happened. I'm telling my child's father right now, never told that. I don't know why the he decided to say some shit like that, because if you had actually went through some shit like that, that ain't something you tell the world. So y'all got to think when y'all looking at this type of person, he's in pain. He wants other people to be in pain. The people that he's putting down are the people he wants to be closest to right now. So I'm telling my child's father, that wasn't me. I didn't tell him nothing like that. I know your story, and I know what happened to you, and I'm not finna tell y'all on here what happened because I don't got to give you details. This man know, and if he want to get on here and tell y'all what happened to him, he can, but I don't know nothing about my child's father being touched on or treated anyway in that capacity, as in molestation or by any of his mother's men or people or anybody. I don't know nothing about that, never said that. That is not something that, if it was true, that should even be put out there. So we're going to nip that in the bud right now. The comment about Bow Wow is so crazy that I can't even wrap my mind around how he took a beautiful moment and basically said, I took my kids to a appointment. Think about that. Make it make sense, y'all. Who needs to take 3 kids to a Chick-fil-A, though, appointment and fuck a celebrity in what, the driveway, he said, or the parking lot or something? What did he say? And y'all running off with this shit? Why? That makes zero sense. You do remember the video where he said that he was left alone all the time and they didn't have anything and they was mistreated and all that. So if I was that type of woman, why would I take them to a appointment? And why was my appointment at Chick-fil-A? And why did I need another man involved to screen my kids while I was at my appointment at the Chick-fil-A, which is a Christian place, and I'm sitting there in the driveway or the drive-through or the parking lot? I don't know. Make that make sense. Y'all got to have better common sense than that for y'all over 30. This is what's wrong with this country. I cannot wait to leave North America. I am out of this bitch. This is what's wrong with this country and y'all in it. Education is so low here and comprehension is nothing, it seems like. Y'all need to read more and you need to get out your heads and get out of this lack of accountability and trying to use other people's stories and stuff to make your story validated and make you feel like this or get you clout, because make it make sense. What mother would do that? Even the worst mother, why would you choose to bring your kids to a appointment at Chick-fil-A? But y'all got it all figured out, right? So this is what actually happened. I used to model. I didn't know modeling meant hoeing. I've been modeling since I was 2. I've been in beauty pageants. I've been in commercials. I've been in magazines. I've been in all teen types of things. I've been in all types of teen runways, worked for Sears, worked for JCPenney's, worked for a whole bunch of lines that had teen stuff when I was a young girl and a little girl. Did all types of pageant. Won Miss Michigan 3rd place, by the way. 3rd place and 5th place. So I don't know at what point hoeing was equal to modeling, but I use modeling as a side hustle to get extra money because I have a lot of kids. I have 3 kids. Had 3 kids. Got pregnant at 17. I had the 3rd one by 22. You do the math. It's 9 months to be pregnant, so do the math. So I was in the entertainment world when I came to Atlanta. I started up modeling as soon as I got here because it was extra money to bring in outside of my corporate business. So why wouldn't I model? Why wouldn't I go and do certain things? So I did some work with them, with Bow Wow and Cleo. And one day they ended up talking to me on the webcam and they saw I had some badass kids in the background. As I'm trying to discipline my sons and tell them to chill the fuck out because my sons were very disrespectful from birth. I birthed hell spawns. They've always thought they could control me. They always thought they could dictate what I do. They always thought they could tell men or different people who can be around, who can't be around. They literally did not have respect for me because their fathers didn't have respect for me. So when Bow Wow saw that, they didn't like that. And at this time, Bow Wow was a kid. I'm much older than him. So him and Cleo was like, well, we can't have that. We need to talk to these little niggas. Like, we need to do some mentoring. And I'm thinking, okay, this is cool. You got these young African-American males trying to mentor these young African-American boys. Hey, why not? This should be influential. Maybe this will change them around so they ain't so crazy, because at this point in time, my sons don't know how to act. So they get chopped in the throat a lot. Maybe that's child abuse, but that's what I did. They used to get chopped right here because they talk too much. They say stuff and they come back from visiting their dads acting like wild animals, and they don't know how to sit down. They don't know how to respect people. They don't know how to have manners. They're throwing stuff on the floor. They don't know how to act. They don't know how to talk to people. Participate as children when grown folks are around. So you have to retrain them every time they come back from their dad's house. It didn't matter if they was gone for a short time or for the summer. They always had to be retrained. So at this time, the kids had just got back. So they're seeing this in real time. And they said, well, look, we want to meet up with you. And I just got to Atlanta. Wasn't nobody finna come see the house that I lived at where my kids lay their head. That wasn't safe. I already had issues with that in Michigan. So he said, Bow Wow says, let's go ahead and meet up at Chick-fil-A. I didn't know what Chick-fil-A was. I didn't even know what a Chick-fil-A is to say that I set up an appointment. I just got here. We had never heard of Chick-fil-A. We were talking about 2006, y'all. This was 20 years ago. This was literally 20 years ago, and we're talking about something from that long ago. So no, I didn't know enough to set no data points up, and I didn't know what a Chick-fil-A was, especially a Christian location. Who in there? So we met up at the Chick-fil-A. My daughter was with me. Both of my sons were with me. Cleo and Bow Wow pulled up. They bought the kids some food. They got them some ice cream. They had some little stuff with it. And then they had a talk. They was motivating them. They was talking inspirational. They was talking to them in a way that, older men are supposed to talk to young boys and get them right, because they knew I was working hard. They knew I was on these sets. They knew what I was doing. So how did they take this beautiful moment and turn it into this ugliness for clout? Like, that's crazy. And this man has a family. Both of these men have families and kids. And you want them to think that they was on that type of time that they would be around a woman who would fuck them in a car in the parking lot while another man was basically playing a distraction at a Chick-fil-A, a Christian location. I mean, you got to make this make sense. It's flabbergasting me. I'm almost speechless because I don't understand how we don't use common sense. And then I don't understand why this son is taking this beautiful moment. They was motivated. My sons was so hype after that. They was acting good for a couple weeks. They was doing well. They wanted to get into extra shit. This is when they started wanting to get into acting. So I put Robert and Nicholas into all types of things with Disney. We was working with this lady out in, Alpharetta? It was the north side. And Jody something. She does the Disney and Nickelodeon kids. We had them out here doing all of that because that's what they said they wanted to do. I spent my money. I spent my time. I paid like $500 each for their packages just to get them motivated so they could be focused on something else. How did two men, Cleo and Bow Wow, end up being put under the bus when all they did was try to help? I had just left my husband. My husband literally had just left Atlanta and went back. So I don't know at what point was I setting all this up and my husband had just left. So this was two boys that wanted to help and they're getting put under the bus 20 years later because somebody's having a bad day or a bad week, or you're going through something with the women in your life because you don't know how to act. It's crazy. It's almost unbelievable. The story about T.I., let's get to that. What? First of all, hey, King, I don't want no static from you, young man. You a hell of a little boy, and you don't like nobody saying shit about your family. So I'm gonna let you know right now, this ain't coming from me. Ain't nobody told this man, and I know for a good enough fact he knows that none of this happened. Ain't no way in hell your daddy had me come out to parade my kids around to prove that I was the age that I was so that I could be deemed whatever the this boy say I'm being deemed. Make this make sense. So King, please don't come for us. I've seen you in action, sir. Please, I promise you my son is mentally ill. He doesn't take the time to do what he needs to do, and so he puts his pain out into the world. So he put your mama and daddy under the bus for no reason. Your mama and daddy never did that. They never said nothing about parading me around. I need to see your kids. You don't probably even remember us. My kids have been to your birthdays, several of them. We went to the boxing ring. We was at the roller rink. We was at the arcades. We been everywhere. My kids was there. We would stay for a couple hours and bounce. The only thing I didn't let my kids do was play with any of y'all alone because I didn't know who everybody was. So I always made sure my kids stayed within my viewpoint where I could see them. And then we promptly left because I didn't want to stay around too much celebrity stuff when cameras came out and a bunch of people came and all this stuff. I didn't want my kids and me caught up in that. So we would bounce. And your dad, invited us to everything with no problem. There was no stipulations. There was no rules of, oh, we need to see who your kids are and all this shit. No, that never happened. I don't understand why this boy took the relationships that I had with some of these celebrities and just decided to put y'all under the bus or your parents under the bus. This is crazy to me. I don't even know, King, why he brought your name up. Because like I said, I don't think you remember us. I don't think you do. So I've known you since you was the little boy telling women to come sit on your pamper. I've known you that long. So please don't come for us, King. At least me. Because I ain't do it. I ain't told them lies on your parents. I ain't got no beef with your mama and your daddy. Period. I don't know what the So what was the next lie that he told? Something about Zoe and a couple other people. These are people I never was even romantically connected to. I knew Zoe through work. Once again, I don't understand why Zoe was brought up. Zoe was a good ass dude. Zoe went out his way because he's a father and he had a lot going on at the time. He has a lot of kids. And so he's a father first. And he went out his way to get me and my kids in this celebrity Olympic swim meet that we actually won. We did a good job. We killed it on that shit. And where does Zoe come into this conversation? I don't know. Like, I just don't understand. I really don't. And I have witnesses to so much. I have so many receipts that I just don't understand how people just go with the flow with what my son is saying, but he just says it and it's just true. I got people right now want to make videos against my son. I've told them not to. Because I know it's just going to fuel his fire and he's just going to put more people under the bus with lies and y'all just going to believe it. And I don't want this to continue. This has to stop. This is crazy shit right here. Let's get into some more of these lies. So my children were apparently not taken care of as children. I think my son mentioned something about hand-me-downs, polo, and something else. Let me put this very clear to y'all. I had 3 kids that I took care of very well. Any person would tell you that my children wore designer clothes. I didn't fuck around. I spoiled them rotten. I overcompensated for everything because I come from nothing. So I felt I had to give them everything. I didn't even love myself. I didn't even love myself until recently. My children were the only thing on this planet I've ever been in love with. And I did everything I possibly could to my best of my ability. And it just wasn't good enough. But they did not live the way that they are saying 24 hours, 7 days a week, every day, all day, every year. No, these niggas was in big houses, living in gated communities, cul-de-sacs, subdivisions. Like, what are we talking about here? These are cul-de-sac kids. These are suburban kids. So I just don't know how we got here to the abuse and all these things. I was not a perfect parent. I wasn't even a good parent. I don't even believe a parent can be a good parent because you're going to make mistakes. But I never did anything intentional to my children. Yes, I know for a fact that there was 3 ass whoopings that got out of hand. Never did anybody break a finger, a body, a bone, or nothing. That is cap. This nigga is straight up lying to y'all. That's so much cap is crazy. I'm such an abuser. Do you know how small I am? Never mind. I'm getting off track. So what my son has done is taken like 24 years of moments of where we had a little bit of money or we had to struggle, and he's made it into like sounding like this is his whole life. This is not true. My children ate at 4- and 5-star restaurants every other day for 15 years of their lives. My children wear designer clothes from Bloomingdale's, Macy's, Neiman Marcus, even Saks Fifth, Children's Place, Justice, Foot Locker, Nike. We went to GameStop every week if they were behaving and they got good grades. Every week. We always got Pokemon, Pokemon, Digi, whatever, the spinners and the cards and all that stuff, Yu-Gi-Oh! That shit ain't cheap. Every week, we took them to the tournaments and to the little meets to meet and play against other card players every week. We did this shit for years. We lived in very large homes, always over 2,000 square feet. Very large homes for the most part, even in Michigan. So to go from all of that to all my mom had me in was hand-me-downs and polo. Y'all didn't hear that? Y'all didn't catch that? That don't sound like an entitled child to y'all. Oh, I could have got Louis Vuitton. What do you mean? So this was my system for the kids, and y'all tell me if this is abuse. I bought all of their clothes new. Once they got too big for their clothes and their clothes got small, I sold their clothes to either a secondhand store or to people that I knew, or I gave their clothes away, and whatever money I got out of the clothes I used and I put it back into the kids. That money then went into new clothes. I love the thrift shop. So they had a lot of thrift clothes. So yes, they did get hand-me-downs, which I didn't mind. That who gives a fuck? I shop at Goodwill. Who cares? I'm a thrifter. But I went and got designer thrift. So it's not like they were in like Target or Walmart. I didn't even allow my kids to wear that shit. That's what they daddy put them in. I didn't do that. I put my kids in designer clothes. So when they used the thrift clothes, those were play clothes. So when them play outside, they can mess them up. You know, nobody cared about these clothes. These clothes could get dirty. I always separated the clothes because the clothes were so expensive. And it's 3 kids. Every year for school, I spent $5,000 each on each child. Every single year. I have proof of all of this. On top of this so-called neglect, my friends who are men would see as my children were growing, like, oh, wait, she has a son who's growing really fast. He's growing so fast, I couldn't keep up. His feet, like, grew to a size 12 overnight, it seemed like. I see a homeboy that has some clothes, and he says, hey, do you think your son would like these? These clothes weren't just Ralph Lauren and Polo and all that. This was a lot of different name brand stuff that was in there. And it was a lot of nice shoes in there and different things that my son could wear. And he was happy to get them. What's wrong with him having that when he already got Neiman Marcus on and Bloomingdale's and Macy's and all that? Like, come on, y'all. Y'all but get real. And what kills me about some of y'all parents, y'all ain't even did half the shit that I've done for this nigga, but y'all judging me out here. That's the shit that's killing me. Y'all don't even do half the shit. I went above and beyond and did way too much to compensate for his dad, for my family's lack of everything, for my lack of having a mother. Like, my mama died, was murdered when I was 3 years old. That shit was never solved. I have to live with that my whole life, and now I watch my son treat his mama like trash when I never had a mother to love, to hug me, to tell me, hey, little girl, this how you be a mama. But I did the best I could, and y'all out here judging me like y'all know me, like you know what's up, like you've done better, like you've lived better with your kids in the situation, and like you've been in my shoes and you lived the way I would live and had all this trauma happen to your whole life. Like you had a baby put on you at 17 years old on purpose because a nigga chose you. I wasn't even out here like that. I wasn't even out in the street. I was a good girl. I was a church going good girl. And this nigga tried to take me down and I didn't choose him. So I ended up with this other nigga. Now my son is sitting up here talking this shit about me and him. When we did I know for a fact I did the best I could. I can't speak on his dad or his dad's wife. That's not my business. And I don't know what was going on in that household. Because now that I see that my son lying like this on me, I don't know what to believe. But what's wrong with him getting hand-me-downs from men that supported me? These men were not men that I was all. These are not men who was around me trying to, oh, let me give this to you so I can get you to do this. None of that is true. They was just helping me out because I was a single mom and they got single moms and they saw it and they helped me out. What's wrong with a mother making sure she got a support system when she ain't got one? Make this make sense. But y'all can't because you're too busy judging. A lot of y'all is on my side and I appreciate y'all because y'all didn't fall for the okie doke. You didn't drink the Kool-Aid. You realize something was up with this nigga. He got woman problems. He hates women. He's hated me since the day he came out of me. That boy has been writing me hate mail since he's been able to write letters. I know he hates me, but I still love him and I still was there for him and I still took care of him regardless of his hate. But y'all judging me on stuff you don't know nothing about? The clothes he wore? Child, please. It was a time when I took my oldest son up to Saks Fifth to get some Prada shoes and get him ready for graduation. That didn't even want it. He thought I was tripping. He said I was doing too much. So y'all can miss me with this mess. How the fuck we out here eating at 5-star, 4-star restaurants almost every day? We're going on vacations. This boy said we don't go on vacation. What do you mean? We've been all over the place together. So Robert, we didn't go to Chicago. We didn't go to Disney World. We didn't go in down to Tybee Island. We didn't go to Simon Island. We didn't do none of this stuff. We didn't travel in Michigan. We didn't go to none of the adventure parks. We didn't go to Six Flags. We wasn't at the water park every other week. We wasn't. We didn't go paintballing. We didn't go skating. We didn't do any of this stuff you said. And I took you places, and instead of letting you enjoy the moment, I just snatched you away. So let's come back around to the ludicrous thing. It was birthday bash. We had already walked. So I don't understand his story or his perspective. We had already walked. We had already got food. We had already got drinks. We had already kicked it in birthday bash. We were going to the back to speak to a nigga and leave. That was it. Nobody had to show him that I had kids. This nigga, I don't understand this. She had to show celebrity she had kids because she looked so young. That's stupid. Back in my day, when we was back in that day, Hoes wasn't telling niggas they had babies. They wasn't telling them they had no kids. And they wasn't even showing these niggas these kids because they wanted them to marry them and not think they had children. So why would I have to be the one out of all the bitches who's hiding children? I'm the one who got to show I got kids to prove that I'm old enough to have kids. Make that make sense? Y'all can't. Y'all can't. Just nonsense being rambled and y'all just running off with it. Just running off with it. It's crazy. And I don't understand how people can't use like higher level thinking. I don't understand it. I was at my kids' school every week, no cap, throughout most of their school career. I did stuff before school, during school, after school. And at one point, my kids all went to different schools, still showed up, all the games, all the meets, all the parent-teacher conference, was on the PTA, did all the stuff, did all the things. And now it's giving, it was all for nothing. The sacrifices, the sleepless nights, the wiping up the asses, the wiping the snotty noses, the wiping of the tears, the holding babies and rocking them for 4 hours because they want their daddy and this is playing. But I had to do that. Trying to console them because they sitting at the door banging their head because the said he coming and he ain't show up. I had to handle that. But y'all got it all figured out, right? You know me. You know me better than I know me, apparently. Let's get back to this modeling thing. Isn't a video vixen somebody who is in a ton of videos or somebody who is literally their careers in the videos, like Melissa Ford or something like that, right? Right? I've been in 2 videos. Oh, God. 2 videos. How am I a video vixen? And the videos you guys are saying I was in, I wasn't even in. So make that make sense. I was down here working for Georgia Power, Suzuki. I worked, what was that program I did for the children? It was a children's hospital, something. I can't think of it right now, but it was a children's commercial. I came down here and I did award shows. I was hosting. I was on the radio. I was interviewing celebrities. I don't get it. This is what I was doing. So how was I a video vixen? Make it make sense. Y'all can't even find anything I was in. Any true video vixen is plastered everywhere right now from the 90s on the internet. But y'all can't find one video I was in. Not one video. It's wild to me. What else did this nigga say that I just was like, what the fuck? Oh, he put his granny under the bus. He put his sister on the bus. He obviously has a problem with all the women in his life. I don't know why he's talking about his sister or his granny or anybody in these videos. His stepmom, this is a tricky subject because I don't want to get into her business or anything about what went on in her house because I don't know. I really don't know. But ma'am, wasn't nobody cheating with your man for no years or whatever this nigga talking about. Don't you get upset and go and let this dumbass that you tried to help raise convince you that some shit went on between me and your nigga that didn't go on. That is not the case. You know exactly what happened and you know when it happened and you know how it happened and you know why. And I'm not getting into no details about none of this shit because it ain't nobody's business. But you don't deserve that. That nigga with you because he dislikes you. I don't know what happened between you and this child or what the fuck is going on with y'all's relationship and how it ended up this way. But I don't believe in my soul it has anything to do with me and you thinking that I was cheating with your nigga for years. What? He lived in Michigan. I live down here. How? Make it make sense. So ma'am, miss, lady, don't listen to this shit. Don't get upset about some shit that didn't happen. I mean, please don't. I've been trying my best not to get upset about any of this because I know most of this, 90% of this is lies. And the little truth he is telling is enough for people who do know anything about the situation be like, oh, maybe it's true. Spoon feeding y'all, breadcrumbing you. So ma'am, no, I was not, none of that happened with your man at the time. I know he wasn't your husband then, but no, that wasn't going on. You know what happened. You read the emails. You know exactly what happened. I know exactly what happened. You know exactly what happened. Don't let this dumbass nigga tell you otherwise. It's caused you problems today. Nobody deserves that. You got to take care of your other kid. What was the other thing that he said? Okay, so they wasn't taken care of, yada, yada, yada. Oh, my children have never been left for days at a time. anywhere with lights off and no food or whatever the fuck he was talking about. I don't even know what that was about. That's never happened. I've always had child care providers for my children, even if my child care providers have failed, like they did when we lived on the golf course and my kids decided we was in a condo and I was at work and these decided to steal a golf cart and run the golf course and run a muck of that, like they had no home training. And so the person that I had watching them was a teenager who basically got sick of them and didn't call me and tell me that they had ran off like baby's kids, because my kids was bad. So the people called me and said, hey, come get your children. I left work immediately and came get my kids. But I left my children alone to go out of town to an award show to model. And y'all was in elementary school? See, this is shit I'll be talking about. So the fact that my friend was watching y'all, I'm talking to you, young man, the one who put this shit out on me. The fact that my friend was watching y'all during that week didn't mean shit to you, huh? The fact that I was at work didn't mean shit to you. The fact that I was working a corporate company job and modeling at the same time to take care of y'all and all the money went to y'all and I literally spent millions of dollars on you children didn't mean shit to you. Cool. I remember that week like it was yesterday because them niggas called me every day on the day. I was on the stage and these niggas was calling me. I had to finally turn my phone off because I couldn't stay focused and I was on camera. I've been on a lot of sets. I've done a lot of background work. I've done voiceovers. I've done so much shit in front and behind the camera. I've worked for studios. I've worked for big productions. I've literally been on, worked up behind the scenes on TV sets and everything. This boy knows this. But yet y'all was calling me, almost getting me fired because y'all couldn't be respectful kids like everybody was trying to get y'all to do. And quite frankly, what people told me, and y'all noticed, they told me to beat the shit out of y'all. They said, beat y'all asses because you don't know no better and you're entitled and you're spoiled. And that I was giving you too much in compensation of what your father wasn't doing and what I didn't come from. I should have did what the they said and said, them kids and beat the shit out of y'all for real so you wouldn't be out here hurting other people with your lies. Out here clout chasing over your mama's. Like, who does this? That's weird. It's giving weirdo vibes for sure. Like, what you on? People already got speculations about you and your brother and shit and how y'all relationship with me. It's weird. Y'all been weird y'all whole lives. Why? Don't you ask yourself that? Why you so hung up on a bitch that ain't even bothering you? Why you hung up on a bitch that ain't did nothing to you? Apparently, we've had nothing, from what I understand, in years. But apparently for you, this shit just happened yesterday. That's how hype you are. Make this shit make sense. Now, I can't figure out who this stepdaddy is. My child has never had a stepdad, so I don't know if he's referring to my ex-husband, who he never called stepdaddy or dad. I'm not sure about any of that part because there's like 3 videos. Me and my people don't know what he's talking about. So I don't know where this information came from or what it's about. So I don't really know how to address this stepdaddy. My son has never had a stepdaddy. I have not been in a relationship, a real relationship in Atlanta, Georgia since I moved here. I have been single since my divorce. Make this make sense. I tried to get into relationships. It didn't work out. Okay? Matter of fact, I tried to get in 2 relationships only, and they had nothing to do with no celebrities. And by the way, celebrities asked me to marry them. Celebrity asked me to be their women. Celebrities and wealthy men, millionaires and billionaires wanted me. But a lot of them did not want my children. They didn't want my kids around. And I would never send my kids to their dad or drop them off or permanently get rid of them just because a nigga said so. A nigga bought me an island, had $1 million for me, and was ready to marry me if I sent them back up to their dads and left them there permanently. And I said no. I went and got my babies. An island. I still have the pictures of that island. Only got to go to it once. An island. Do you hear me? So I had the pick of the litter. I had billionaires. I had millionaires. I had anybody that I could want. I didn't want them. I was focused on raising my kids and not having a bunch of men around my children. That's why my son can't give y'all direct stories about no because it wasn't no going on around this. That's what y'all don't understand. These stories are exaggerated and made up. He's heard some things through the grapevine. Some people from Michigan told him this and that, and they was lying because they didn't know the tea. So he's taking rumors. He's heard shit in his dad's house. He's heard what people thought was going on with me, and he's trying to make it be something that is not. But we ain't got to the big thing here. My son got put out of my house for a reason. He was a threat to the people around him. He was a problem. I almost took my kid off this planet over this shit that he did, and it changed the course of our life. That and my daughter's kidnapping were the two things that are most traumatic things I ever experienced as a mother. I thought my kids lying on me, telling me they hate me, telling folks I didn't feed them, telling folks I didn't, all this shit they did. They've been doing this shit since they was 2, bruh. All this shit they've been doing. But I didn't think this would be like this. This shit hurt. You come out here and you just making up stuff like this. Like, why? Because you want a hug. You want your mom. You miss your mom and dad. You miss your siblings. You miss your family. But what did you do for your family to turn on you like this? You didn't leave us. We left you the fuck alone. We had to make you get the fuck on. Because you didn't want to move around like you should, move around like a man. Well, every time you came around us, you kept up shit. You started stuff in all of our houses. You clearly are unhinged. You're literally telling people's business that ain't did nothing to you. What did your grannies do to you, bruh? You telling stories about your granny and some old shit about her, about some shit that happened when you were an infant. And then gonna say, well, this is what my mama said. I don't even remember the story. How the fuck do you and you wasn't even there? I don't even remember the story. Like, what? This shit crazy to me. It's insane that this is what you've chosen to do with your time to the people who fed you and clothed you and housed you and made sure you were straight. I don't know what the fuck your dad and his wife did for sure. I know none of this shit went on at my house. You ate every day, all day. You was eating and drinking. Y'all was eating thousands of dollars of food on top of going out to eat. Thousands of money. Y'all, my food bill was $3,000 a month for years. $3,000, $3,500. And that wasn't including going out to eat. I cooked big, huge meals. I had meals set up for kids, all of their friends. We would do movie night at our house, outdoors. We would set up candy and stuff for the kids, for the neighbors. We would do pool. We would do trampoline. Every day we was at the pool. Every day we was doing an activity. Every day that we was with their friends. Every day they friends. My son talking about he went to his friend's house and he was there and he just loved the way that those friends was at my house. So you must be talking about Michigan because you wasn't talking about here in Atlanta. All these kids, I used to have 15 kids, grown boys in my house eating every day. I took these to skate parks, to the movies, to all types of arcade games, Dave and Buster's, doing all this shit every week to compensate for the fact that I'm fucked up and I know I'm not a good parent. I got mental issues. I don't come from shit. Y'all don't got good dads. They got issues. They didn't come from shit. So I'm trying to compensate for the broken promises that their dads did, for the shit that they let them down on, for the shit that they lied on, for the shit that they destroyed with my kids. I had to overcompensate. So I am a bad parent. Yes. Never said I wasn't. Terrible at it. But was excellent at raising other people's kids. I got other people's kids loving the fuck out of me. Other people's kids did what the fuck I said and they're successful now. They're living their life. They're moving on. They're moving to different places. They're exploring the world. They're in their 30s or close to 30s and doing the damn thing. Yet my son is on the internet talking about his mom's. It just, it don't make sense. It doesn't. It's so confusing to me that this is my reality today. I'm so embarrassed. This shit was so hard raising these kids. And it was so hard to have their fathers and their families against me like this. I had no help but the people that I just spoke on who stepped in. And apparently that didn't mean shit to them. Now, as far as my friend, I think he mentioned something about my friend's family, our play family. I'm not finna get into any of that because them people have been nothing but good to us. Generally speaking, like overall, I can't complain about much of anything. They've gone above and beyond. But I can tell you right now, at no point in time did my kids watch other kids get Christmas and they didn't get Christmas. We were spending 5 bands every Christmas for these. I got pictures of Christmas where rooms are filled up with shit. I guess they forgot about the blue and white Christmas that we did over at they playground my house. I guess they forgot about that. What they're talking about is when my son turned 16, I went through a holistic journey and I wanted to detach from Americanized things to stop spending so money and to be brainwashed. So I ended Christmas then. And I started to buy my children things based on merit, not a holiday. So if they acted well and they got good grades and they did what they were supposed to do, I rewarded that. Otherwise, Christmas didn't mean nothing to me anymore. And I haven't truthfully celebrated Christmas till then. I make sure I send something to my grandbaby because he's a baby. But these wasn't no 9 years old and I brought gift baskets and I bought all these kids all this other shit and that is describing my childhood. I mean, I'm talking about verbatim. Verbatim. It's crazy to me that this boy has taken my childhood and telling y'all this story like it's his. It's crazy to me. And the trauma that he's really gone through, that's what breaks my heart. The shit that I really fucked up on and I failed him on is real. It's really real and he really was hurt. But he hasn't done anything with the pain. He hasn't done anything to heal himself. He hasn't done the work. These young kids do all the talking because they want to become TikTok experts and doctors and shit, but they don't put the work in. And that's the problem I have. I finally love myself. So what I did was put distance and I separated myself from my child. And now my child is lashing out like this is a girlfriend leaving him. This is not normal. It is not a normal way to react to your mother, son. I took care of you as best as I could. You got put out of my house because you were a danger. But even though you was put out of my house and sent to your dad, I set up services for you. Mental services, even physical services. It was either that or you go to juvie. But I kept you out of the system, trying to keep an African-American male out of the system by putting you in some shit that was going to make you better. But your dad didn't take you. And I don't know why. You have to talk to him about that. I'm not going to speculate. You had to be removed from my house. You were a danger and I was going to hurt you. You were going to get killed that day. Dead ass. If my friend who you talk all this shit about wasn't there, you would have been gone. Because I didn't feel a child that did the shit that you did deserve to be here. And now I'm seeing that I might have been right. Because why does your pain makes it so that you want to make everybody else feel pain? This is all for me. All you had to do was pick up the phone. You got my phone number. You got my email. But this is for clout. You finally got your 15 minutes, son. Congratulations. You finally got your 15 minutes, your 72 hours. You got it. From the most negative shit that you could possibly get it. You will be known as the man who is pressed over his mom's. That's what you're going to be known as. But I put studios together. I built you a studio. I put you with all types of people. You had NBA references to go straight to AAU and to the top. You had Sony looking at you. You had people sitting down with you because of me. You had people in rooms trying to get you on the tracks. You didn't want to do what the you were supposed to do. You went in there being rude to them people. These people tried to work with you. You got shy sometimes, or you wanted to be bashful. Okay, cool. We can understand that. But then when you came out your shell, you started getting rude and telling what the fuck it wasn't and what the fuck it ain't. Is this because you thought I was them? Because just so you know, I wasn't. And you fucked your shit up your self because they didn't feel like you were a person that was a team player and could be workable. The one thing I know about celebrity people, they are trainable people who are movable and easily managed. And maybe if they're not even easily, they are managed. That means they don't have control of their life. They do what they're told, when they're told, at the time and date that they're told to do it. And you didn't have that in you. Now you're famous for talking about your mom's sitting on TikTok at almost 30, trolling the bitch, bringing all these people into this conversation that have nothing to do with anything that hurt you. All the people you're putting under the bus have done nothing to you. Your anger is at me and your dad, and I guess his wife. How did everybody else get put into this, little boy? Or should I say, sir, since you're a grown-ass man? Make this shit make sense. I'm so baffled by this shit. I'm so baffled by this shit on so many levels. So many fucking levels. My son has never sold drugs, paid bills for me. None of this has happened. My son ain't never had to cover shit I don't know what he talking about, Alabama. All I know is I paid the bills, and y'all heard him say that I paid for bills for a place that I ain't even stay at. Whatever him and my brother got into it about, that was grown man business, didn't have shit to do with me. My brother say my son stole from him. My son say my brother stole from him. All I know is all the furniture in the house was mine. Nothing in that house was, and I paid for the house. And did he tell y'all how I sent money to pay the rent, but I sent it directly to him, and the spent the money, and I had to send the rent money directly to the renter's office because I couldn't trust my own son to pay his own rent. He ain't tell y'all that, though. He ain't tell y'all that. So I don't know what the fuck my brother has to do with this. We don't even know that nigga, talk to that nigga. We are estranged. I was trying to give my brother a chance, and I'm not finna get into no details about him and his wife's situation. Again, I'm not putting him under the bus. I don't know what was going on. I just know things didn't work out and everybody moved on. That's all I'm gonna say about it. My brother is not to blame for everything that happened in that house. I can tell you that because my brother recorded my son sometimes and sent the shit to me. And my son didn't immediately tell me that he wasn't paying the rent that I was sending the money to. I had to find that out by my brother because a notice came. And I said, can't be no notice. I've been paying the boy the rent. He said, can't be. The boy got a notice for pay or quit. This is before the eviction. So I don't understand the Alabama thing. I don't get why that was even brought up. I guess these are things that traumatize him. I'm assuming that these are all triggers at some point that he wants to get off his chest. I'm not sure what was going on. But as far as the homeless thing, I was homeless. My son didn't have to be homeless. He had places to go. And he was loyal as to me. And it was starting to stress him out. And it was a whole bunch of crazy shit going on. And he right. We couldn't trust a lot of these niggas was trying to get me to just to stay and do all this crazy shit just to be around, even though I was paying my part and cooking and cleaning and providing groceries. And all I needed was a little place to stay to get on my feet. Because the first time in my life, I fell flat. I fell flat because I was trying to save my daughter from being kidnapped, and I spent all my money going to court and going back and forth to Michigan, paying all this money for attorneys, doing all this shit. So I lost everything. Hundreds of thousands of dollars was spent to try to get my daughter back over years, a course of years. My daughter was taken at 11. I didn't see my daughter again until she was 19. Trauma. So some stuff he's saying is true. But we don't need to relive this trauma. We don't need to keep going through the shit. We just got out of it, and then you gonna be the kid to put us in more trauma after you saw what your dad and his wife did. Like, I don't understand it. Son, I don't understand you anymore. You was the one out of all of them I understood, I thought. I don't get it. I don't know what happened to you, who hurt you, if it is your wife or not. I don't know, allegedly, whatever. I don't know, but I didn't do nothing to deserve this. I didn't do nothing to deserve this. Is crazy. This is beyond, it's almost inconceivable. I know parents who really fuck their kids up and their kids wouldn't dare do no shit like this. Really fuck their kids up. I have said sorry. I have acknowledged their pain. I have changed as a person, as a mother, and I never got an opportunity to do right again because my kids have chosen to purposely punish me and abuse me as adults because they feel I deserve it because of the mistakes I made as a young mother. I am almost 50 years old. I am on my own. I am about to leave this country and live a new life because I just found out literally a few weeks ago that my children have been my number one enemy. And that shit hurt so bad. I said, what is the reason to stay here anymore? They literally don't fuck with you because you can't spoil them no more, because you can't provide for them no more, because you set a healthy boundary, because you loving yourself now, because you're not letting people use you no more, because you know how to say no. You know how to defend yourself. This is insane. This is insane. All the stuff he's talking about, he's saying somebody's brothers and families and all that. None of this shit happened. None of this shit happened like that. It didn't even go down like that. And it's my business of who the I and where I put my and don't put my. This is none of y'all's business. And to go and ask other women, is this your son? Is this your son? Y'all are so trashy sometimes. Like, get a life. You're harassing other people over another bitch when it shouldn't be your business what my was doing. It's not my son's business because this shit wasn't around him. Nobody is bringing kids to dick appointments unless they crazy for real. Nobody's bringing dick around their kids like that unless they crazy for real. My oldest son will tell you a different story on this subject. When no niggas around like that. Yeah, y'all saw a couple friends, but you ain't see no nigga that was like that. No, the fuck you didn't. Because if you did, you would have a list that makes sense. Your list ain't even accurate. Somebody told you some stuff, you heard some things, you heard me talking on the phone, and a lot of this stuff he talking about, oh, I went to my kids and just told them stuff. My kids was eavesdropping. They was some nosy bitches, and they was eavesdropping, listening to adult conversations, and I talk really loud so you can hear me through the whole house. These conversations was not for them. I never went up to my son and showed him a picture of me butt-ass, booty-ass, naked, spread eagle, talking about, say, hey, let me explain this random picture that you didn't even ask about, and y'all are in elementary school, and I'm butt-ass naked. No, how about they went into my shit, went in my room, went in my box, went into a private place, up under some shit in another box, and pulled out these pictures and was showing them around, and I had to explain some shit to these niggas and tell them what the fuck it wasn't finna be. But y'all thought I just randomly went and just showed, just here, yeah, this is me. This is your mom's, and this is me on the pole. And what I did to make money ain't y'all business. I can tell you that. I ain't never been no streetwalker. And that's all y'all need to know. What I did out here to take care of my kids and put in their mouth and put on their asses and put in their education, that's my business. I did what the fuck I was supposed to do, how I was supposed to do it, with no help after I got divorced. The fuck y'all mean? But y'all walked in my shoes so much, I guess y'all know so much about me that y'all are reposting this shit, stitching this shit, and making all these comments about me, talking about something, well, this is how a child is broke. Yeah, I birthed these niggas broken. They came out hating bitches. Both of them. I don't know how I birthed that. I don't even know how that became my fate. After all the shit I went through with men, my family, my own family, I gotta go through this shit with my sons? The niggas that I will literally die for? The niggas that you can call me right now and I'm finna show up, I'm gonna pay for it, I'm gonna take care of it. What do you need? The bitch who sends her kids groceries, the bitch who is there when they're sick. I fly out, spend my last money, and all they do every time they see me is disrespect me because they think I deserve it for shit that happened when they were children. My son didn't have to do what he did in 2022. He could have came and stuck to the script, but he wanted to put my daughter against me. He wanted to lie on me. He wanted to fuck up the household and act like he was running shit when he didn't run a thing but his mouth. And so he got put out in the police call. Yet he's on videos talking about some, yeah, I was in my mama's house smoking and I told that bitch, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna smoke. My mama ain't gonna never do shit to me. I can put my hands on her and she ain't finna call the police. The police have been called on you twice. And the police told you to get the fuck on because they knew you was on this that your generation is on. That's what they knew. I didn't get arrested. Didn't no charges get placed on me, but they sure said they was going to arrest you. And you know this. And the shit you talking about with this situation where y'all stayed with me and y'all wasn't even working like that, bruh. The reason why I went off was y'all was supposed to be up looking for a job. You forgot that y'all lost the job and quit the job that you had. Your brother was supposed to be up doing some shit at 6 o'clock in the morning and he wasn't. And so I didn't drop no mirror on him. I accidentally broke the mirror. What I broke for real was his computer. I never actually hit the boy with no axe or no axe handle. I hit his computer. My son tried to break my dog's neck. And then this dumb nigga, my middle child, tried to gang up on me. And so I put them the out. And I never went and told anybody that they hit me or put their hands on me in a way where they punched me or some shit. I said these niggas put their hands on me because they grabbed me and pushed me to the ground. And yes, I did call my niggas and tell them what these niggas did so they can get these niggas straight. You know what these niggas did? They went deal just like he doing now, like some hoes and some bitches, and went and told a whole bunch of lies and a whole bunch of truth to everybody we know, trying to make everybody dislike me, just like this nigga is doing today. He wants y'all to dislike me so he can feel valid about his pain and his issues with women when it ain't no thing that I particularly did. I tried to love the child that hated me. I was there for the child that despised me. I gave this child everything I possibly could, from hugs to kisses to love, support to belief in him. I can't even believe this nigga doing this after all this shit. All the before and after school shit that we had to do in the training and all of the testing and all the stuff that we did. And this is where we're at. This is where we're at with this. So everybody can miss me with what y'all think about me, what's going on. This ain't even a normal situation. My therapist just told me she ain't never even seen no shit like this before. She's looking at my whole story and everything I've gone through and all this shit that I've went through with my kids. My kids have destroyed businesses for me. My kids have destroyed opportunities for me. My kids have tried to, from the beginning, put me against or anybody against me that they possibly could. And I never have understood why. And all I've done as a dumbass victim of trauma and all my own abuse is run to my abusers and say, please love me, kids. Nobody else loves me. Please love me. And I'm overdoing that. I'm not that bitch no more. I don't need people to love me who don't love me. My children do not love me. And it's okay. I can accept that. They don't love me. And I don't think they ever have. And it's okay. Because they don't deserve a lack of love because I didn't get love for my family and my children or my children's fathers or their families. I didn't get support. I didn't get love. I didn't get what a child and a little girl is supposed to get. I've been taking care of adults and other people's kids since I was 5 years old. I have been emancipated since I was 16. I have been paying my own bills since I was 14 years old. I raised my brother. I helped my dad. I raised other people's kids. I put them through school. After all of that, all the sacrifices I made of not putting me first and trying to make sure my kids had a life that I didn't have and the support that I didn't have, this is what I get. So okay, this is what I get. I'm sorry, son. I am deeply sorry for everything that you've had to go through with being my child. I'm sorry to all my kids. I'm sorry to everybody who's had to deal with me and my issues and my mental traumas and all the stuff that comes with being me. I wish things were better. I wish we could have a better relationship. I wish that we could be closer. I wish we could let the past go. I wish that we could heal as a team and be like we were when we used to do random dance. And we would have our little food parties and all the people would come over and we would have fun. I thought we had a good time together. I thought we had a good relationship. I knew it was rocky. I knew it was fucked up. And I knew I was a bad mom. I knew more than anything I was verbally abusive. More than anything. And I'm sorry for that. I was too direct. I told the truth too much. It was because I was born a liar and I was put into crime and I was told to lie and scam. And around the time I turned like 30, I wanted to be honest and I was telling y'all too much and I didn't know better. I didn't know better. I'm gonna sit here and be crying and shit like a bitch. This is what they want. So now y'all know who the mother is that y'all have sat here and harassed all these people over. It's just little old me. And I'm nobody who comes from nothing. Okay? Not nobody special at all. And I birthed the worst children in the world, apparently, who absolutely hate me. And most of this is my fault because I should not have had children and brought them into a situation. And I wish I would have knew better. I had a choice of having kids at that time and somebody didn't make me have their child. I wish I knew better. Because they don't deserve to live like this. They don't deserve to be in this situation where this is how miserable they are and they got to sit on the social media because of what their mom and dad didn't do or did. I'm sorry. I can't do this any longer. I can't remember everything he said to address everything. I done got too emotional now and I'm trying my best not to cry and I don't want to look like I'm looking for clout or whatever or chasing some type of views. I set the record straight. These people that got put under the bus didn't deserve to be put under the bus. I'm sorry to every last one of you who my children have affected over these years. Some of y'all have dealt with this before. Some of y'all, this is new to y'all. But this stuff is not true. The stuff that is true is really sad, and I wish he would be brave enough to tell his true truth. But I guess it's easier just to tell a story. The boy's creative as fuck. He should be a creative writer. He should have took this and did some Tyler Perry shit. Y'all would have ate this up. Y'all would have ate this the fuck up. Like, he's got a gift for taking one thing that's true and turning it into something totally not true. And it's drama-filled enough where you guys are hanging on every inch. Like, people are trying to tune in and see when he posts his next. Like, he's eating this shit up. He's eating this shit up. I was gonna show receipts and show pictures and do all that in these videos, but I'm not finna do all that now unless it comes to that. If I have to show receipts, then I'll take the time to pull everything out that I got. I'll pull out the emails, the old phones, all of the pictures. But please believe me, it's other people right now pissed. And they want to go hard on my son, like hard. But I've stopped anything because I'm the only one that needs to speak. And his father and I guess maybe his father's wife, but this is really about me and his dad. My son is just taking this out on everybody and anybody who is in the way. And some of y'all is getting it too, and y'all don't even realize that he's pumping y'all. This is all fugazi. Our story is so up enough that if he would have just told the truth, y'all would still be flabbergasted and you'd still be trying to click and do all this stuff. I'm not the best parent, not the worst parent, but I ain't purposely do nothing to my children. Never had my children around hoe activities, and I have no clue about some of these stories and where they come from and why he's telling y'all this other than clout. I don't know. So you guys need to let this die down and stop feeding into this. All you probably going to do is take this video, rip it apart, and, oh, she's not being accountable. I'm the most accountable. When I say it is so hard for a child to grow up with a mentally ill parent that has no support and comes from nothing, like, it is hard. Do you know I learned how to officially read and properly write at 16, and that's when I figured out how to go to the court system and file my own papers to emancipate myself? That's the only reason I learned how to properly read and write, because my daddy kept me stupid on purpose so he could keep stealing my inheritance. So if I would just learn how to read at 16 and write at 16 and just learn how to go to the court and do that, how the f did a 17-year-old know all of this stuff that my son thought I was supposed to know about parenting? And then I'm dealing with a child who has a mental illness. I have mental illnesses, and none of this is common back then. It's all common today. Nobody ever heard of this back then. People treated us like pariahs and like we had a disease or something that they could catch. I didn't know what to do with me. I didn't know what to do with my child. So in defense of his father, I don't know what his father knew what to do. I don't know that situation. I don't know why that situation was handled that way. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on from over there or what's true anymore. What I know is I woke up today and I'm going viral and hundreds of thousands of people are looking for me. Y'all are actually sending threats to ride at dawn for what? Do you know life has whooped my ass? My family beat the shit out of me before I even got grown. The spirit was broke. I had to rebuild that back up. Now I got to rebuild myself back up again. All for children that I try to give everything to. But it is my fault because I didn't love myself. I told y'all that several times. I was a people pleaser. I wanted to be loved, so I went above and beyond for everybody in my life. And I tell you this, every last person I've said no to, or I say I don't want to do it no more, they have all left me and they don't fuck with me. They've all turned their backs on me. They all said they love me and then turn around and stab me in my heart. Every last one of them. Even my friends. The only person really ride out for me for real, is one male friend and my niece. Don't nobody else fuck with me. And I'm not an easy person to get around, get along with because of my own issues and all my shit. Don't nobody want to deal, especially in the African-American community, y'all don't want to deal with the crazy bitch. Y'all don't want to deal with the bitches who's so traumatized that she don't even know how to be her own self within groups and normal conversations and shit without, here, do you need a play? Here, do you need help? Do you need me to fix something? Do you need me? Do you need me? Do you need me? Because if God, please need me. so I don't have to be alone. Please need me so I can feel loved. And so that's my fault for not recognizing that in myself before I even brought kids into this world or had a child on purpose, because Robert was playing, like he said. Some of this shit is true. But I'm not in the please need me phase anymore. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm cool. I don't need nobody. I just did something amazing. I just built something amazing with my own two hands and my brain. Something nobody on this planet has ever done in technology. And I did it. So I'm going to put my shit out and I'm bouncing. So y'all ain't got to worry about who his mom is anymore. And we ain't got to keep talking about mothers. I'm right here. If y'all want to talk to me directly, talk to me directly. DM me. I'm sorry my son is putting this out here, and I'm sorry that this is who I birthed. He is a reflection of me and his father and his mental illness and his pain. And I'm sorry that this is what we produce for the world. But I don't deserve this. Y'all know how long it took for me to stop feeling ashamed and guilty for all the things that I couldn't do right for him and all the mistakes I made. How many years it took me to look in the mirror and say, you tried, you did that. I felt so guilty for so long. And I had on my heart to just be a better person and a better parent. And I thought if I did all the work, I would get to the end and we would come together. And we would be back the way we were. But my son leaving and my daughter getting kidnapped changed everything in my life. It took everything away. I didn't even get to see my daughter's prom or her grow up or her first date or her first kiss. We didn't get to talk about none of that shit. And she was my little princess. And her brothers were supposed to shield her and take care of her. But you see, he don't even like her. I love so many people and I love them so hard that I didn't want them to feel the pain that I felt as a child and a woman. That I gave and gave and gave until there was nothing left to give. And now I'm being chastised and put down on the internet because I have to start over now. And nobody's here to help me when I start over. Nobody cares but my friend. These bills are so high. It's just so high. And I'm trying my best. But if it wasn't for my friend, I don't know if I would be here right now. And he doesn't require sex, and he doesn't require me to put out or do anything. He just helps because he knows how hard it is for me and how hard it's been all these years. And I've been hiding for the last 3 years, and then this comes out here and puts all this shit on the internet, and he could have at least just told y'all the truth. The story is bad enough, but why add all this shit? And why are you obsessed with your mother's p-? It makes no sense. I can't believe I'm doing this. I gotta get off of here. I wanted to come on here and address some of my emotion and misinformation, because I went through my videos when I wasn't as irate and hurt, and I realized that some stuff could come off as not accountable or maybe even wrong, and I don't like to mislead or make it like I'm lying about something. My children definitely were abused by their mother. They definitely got ass whoopings, and they definitely went through trauma. I am f***ed up. I did not know I was abusing my kids. I come from ultimate violence, sexual trauma, crime, like everything you could think of. By the time my mom was gone and I turned 5, I was already an adult, basically replacing my mom for my dad. And my dad's never sexually done anything to me. Those were other people. But he did everything else. And I had to raise his son, and which is my brother. And I didn't know what I was doing. And the first person I ever abused in my life was my own brother. I did a terrible job raising him, and we're a year and 11 months apart. But I was the big sister, and I had to take care of everything, even for him. We were homeless. We went without food. We had to deal with a junkie father. I've had 17 stepmothers. My dad comes from crime, so there's a list. He has a very long record. It's a lot that I was involved with that I shouldn't have been involved with. Um, every day was war. Every day was survival. Every day was hustle. We were children that ate out of the trash can. We got clothes out of the trash can and hand-me-downs, and we were just left. Just sometimes my dad would take us and just drop us off in another city, and I don't know if he was wondering if we was gonna get back to him or not, but we always found our way back. No cap. This really happened. So I was fucked up, and that's just not even. That ain't even the tip of the iceberg of the stuff that I've experienced as a child. Me and my brother were born straight with money. My mama set us up right. My daddy stole all of that. His family and them stole all of that. We didn't get that money, but we watched our father give money to other people, other families, other folks' kids. That's why I said a lot of what my son is saying, it's like he's taken his trauma and he's mixed it with my trauma and then made up some shit. So I don't know if that's what his mental illness does to him, but it's like he's taking my story, mixing it with his story. Some things are similar in me and his life, but not the stuff. A lot of the stuff that he's saying is like, this is, I don't know where this is coming from unless you're just talking about your dad's side. But he comes from something that comes from nothing. I don't come from people that love me. Them people used me. I wasn't in modeling and pageants because it was fun. I had to bring home money and pay bills for these folks. I was the one paying bills. Me and my brother have been paying adult bills since we were babies. This is all true. And so I didn't know that I was hurting my kids because I thought what I was doing was so less than what happened to us. I didn't know any better. I thought I was doing better. That's why I said my best wasn't good enough, because a bitch didn't know better. And that ain't no excuse. My children really were hurt. They're obviously traumatized. My son needs a hug. He needs to get the healing. All of my children do. And I feel like my other two kids, the oldest and the youngest, are trying to get the healing and trying to do, and they're on a path that is set to set them up to win. I thought my son was setting himself up to win, because literally just a couple months ago, I'm congratulating him. I'm telling him how proud I am about his lifestyle and him taking care of himself and going to work and taking care of his animals, his dogs and his cats, and making sure his people is straight and doing his tattoo work. Like, I literally hyped him up because I believed in him. My son is philosophical. He's super smart, but dumb as a mother at the same goddamn time. I ain't never met a smart, dumb like him, boy. And so I don't know what's happening right now. So I apologize, son, for reaching out to you and checking on you to see what these videos was about, because it looks like you need help. I didn't know me checking on you was going to cause all of this. I apologize for the words I used in the email. I completely apologize for everything that's been done to you by me. But the lies and throwing other people under the bus, regardless, even if some of the stuff is true, you come on now, what, you don't want nobody in your life? Your grandmas and your granny used to feed you. You could go sleep over there. You can go over there anytime and kick it. Their door was always open. I understand y'all had some issues with at some point in time with different things, but you call that abuse? You said we all abused you? I didn't know that you were getting abused by them. That's never been told to me. You've never told me this. You've told me moments where there's been problems, but all problems don't equal abuse, son. You do realize that, right? So it's just some people catching strays, and I don't really understand. But I'm telling the world right now, I didn't know what I was doing. My mental illnesses were scary. There were times that I didn't know who I was and what was happening to me. So yes, I did say too much to my children in conversations that was really meant for friends, because I was in a personality state and I didn't know what I was doing. It's not an excuse, because they lived through it. But this is what really happened. I truly did not know where I was sometimes. I truly did not know what was going on. And so if it wasn't for my oldest son's grandmother, because I made it seem like I had absolutely no help because nobody helped me directly, but his grandmama fucked with him the long way and took very good care of him. And that boy could get anything he want from her. And that indirectly helped me. But what I was talking about is direct help to me was very hard to come by. And the people that I did get help from, I was very appreciative of. I thought my kids were. I didn't know it was abusing them to get help from other people or get hand-me-downs from different dudes or have celebrities mailing my kids school clothes, them getting shoes before anybody get them. I didn't know all that stuff was abuse. I didn't know they thought I was all the niggas. I didn't know that. And yes, it was some confusion about my lifestyle and my lifestyle choices. Yes, it was. I had to make choices to make money because my child's father put me in a position I couldn't get out of. So I had to work during the day and I also had to work at night. And he knows what he did. I don't got to put that dirty. This is old news. I'm over that trauma. He knows what he did. He knows why I had to do what I did. Nobody made it easy that was supposed to make it easy for me. But that still is not an excuse for why my children are fucked up now. It's just the reason. It's just what happened. And so I just apologize. I truly apologize. And then this stepdad thing, I couldn't figure out who it was. I think he's talking about my friend. I was like, I know he's not talking about my ex because the stories don't line up. And even the stuff he said about my friend wasn't true. It's like he's taking so many things and mixing it all together and blending it that I can't make sense of a lot of it. But I'm telling you, this is all my fault, the things that I did to him. Me being too young, me being stupid, me not knowing how to tell time till I was older, me doing all the shit that I did to them just because I didn't know better still doesn't change their pain. So I'm not making an excuse. And I feel like after I reviewed that video, it seems like I was making an excuse, and that's not what I'm doing. I did too much. I did too little. I overcompensated. I was a bad mother. I didn't know how to be a mother, and I tried so hard to figure it out. I did so much that I did too much that this is how they are now. I did all the things, and I tried to be superwoman, and it broke me and them all at the same time. I tried to be everything to them just so that they could live a life that I never had, and they could grow up and be happy and joyful and not go through what they're going through right now. Not go through what my son is going through right now. So I'm sorry, son. I am. I went back through all your death threats. You told me to kill myself. Told me you didn't want me here. You really hate me. And I'm sorry. I will leave this continent and give you guys space if that's what you need. And I'm going to do that for y'all because I'm obviously the problem. Not the problem of all your choices, but I'm the root of your problem. And then I thought about it. I am the reason why you disrespect women. I didn't even know you disrespect women. Like this is so uncharacter-like of you to be like this. I thought before you were acting like this because of your brother. But now I see this is just who you are as a man, and I didn't realize it. Like, I don't know my son at all. I didn't know you were cut like this at all. I thought you were so different. In these last few years, you have really shown me who you really are. And I am sorry. Sorry for pushing you away. Sorry for not handling it right. Sorry for telling you the truth. Sorry for being mean. Sorry for being abusive in all the ways, verbally, mentally, emotionally, physically. I'm sorry to all of y'all. To all of y'all. And as far as what I said about my therapist, I misspoke because I made it sound like she was like, scrolling. But no, we were in a session. I had my other phone and we were talking about what was going on. And so this is what was said in our session. And this was brought up because I actually discovered I was going viral as I was going into my therapy session. So that session was all over the emotional place. I basically cried through the whole thing because I couldn't understand what was going on with the topic. Because if we were just talking about his trauma and that was it, and we didn't do this extra stuff and put the extra ice cream on top, then I wouldn't have thought nothing about it, because everybody has a right to handle their trauma however they need to handle their trauma. My kids know that. I raised them with free will. My son is a spiritual man. He is into like reading and philosophy and like Bruce Lee type stuff, you know, Taoism and stuff like that. Like he's a smart, very enlightened young man. This is not who he acts like with us. If I show y'all our messages, you'll be like, wait a minute, these ain't the same people. It's just, Mom, I love you. I just want you to do good. My son sent me a message and said, I don't even know how it is to have 3 kids. You did this. Like, I wouldn't been able to do it with 3 kids. I see why you went fucking crazy. But I'm sorry that my breaking broke you, son. I'm sorry. But this is not what I want for you and what I sacrificed for and what I gave everything up for me for you to have. I don't want you to not live joy. Take your success and go live your life, son. Go heal. Go be whatever you need to be. I don't ever want to stand in your way and take that from you. I was stupid. I was ignorant. And it hurt you. And I'm so upset with myself, and I'm starting to relapse on my healing because I'm starting to feel bad again over it. I've been healed from this for like a year now, but I'm starting to feel guilty again. And I'm trying not to get into that space because that's going to cause an episode and it's going to lead to suicidal shit. And I'm not trying to do that. I'll just leave the continent so you feel safer. I'm so proud of you 3 kids, for real. It took a while to get y'all out of my pockets and get y'all out here. But when y'all got out here, you took the fuck off running and y'all really did the damn thing. And you barely needed to come back for any help. You barely needed to ask me for anything like some people have described that they have to do with their kids. Like, I don't feel like it was even too much. And even with you, son, you wouldn't even let me do for you. I've done more for your other 2 siblings as adults than you because you went out and said, fuck it, I'll just handle my own shit. I'm proud of you. You know how hard it is? I know how hard it is to do shit without parents. And you made a choice to say, fuck that bitch. I'm not finna ask her for shit. And you're figuring it out. You're living a nice life. I'm proud of what you're doing. It's just, my story is so fucked up that I should not have children, because who wouldn't have ended up like this? Why did I think that I could be everything to them? Why did I think I could do this? Why didn't, when they first wanted and cried to go to their dads, why didn't I just let them go and stay there? I fought so hard to be their mom when I knew I wasn't good at it. I just couldn't leave them because I didn't have a mom. And I did so much. I did too much to overcompensate. You overcompensate, then you abuse them. Make that make sense. So I didn't want to leave those videos out there and make it seem like, because I was in an emotional state, rushing my conversation, running over words and not thinking things out slowly, make it to be more than what it is or less than what it is. This wasn't I went out and intentionally abused and used, manipulated, hurt, or put my kids in. That's not it. I believe in my kids. I did all of this so they could be successful. The things that I did around celebrities and different things and how I moved with my kids was to keep them safe. I left the industry because it's an evil place to be. And I saw some horrific shit. And if a was to write a book, we would be famous. And we would have all the money. But I don't kiss and tell. And I don't got to bring up no old ass shit that I've already healed from and that's over. What is the point? What is the point to bring up old shit just to get clout, just to get money? No, I'll use my brain and my skills to build what I need to build so I can get to where I need to go. So I'm sorry, kids, to all of y'all. I'm sorry to all the kids in the world who have to deal with parents like me, who had to deal with a mom who just didn't know what the f to do and was over trying, overly doing everything. Like everything was an extreme thing. Over the top. Everything. I'm sorry for everybody who has to deal with people like me. I'm sorry to everybody who's had to deal with me. I'm sorry for all the friends, all the betrayal I've done, all the fucked up shit I've done because I didn't come out of a good family. But I've wanted so badly to be a better person that I got this far. And believe me, people who know me from back then till now, and you see me talking, you know I'm way different because I would have went to war with my son back in the day. I would have saw him as a challenge. He would have been my number one enemy. I would have had no mercy. And that's the mother they had to deal with. I used to think my children were against me. I resented being a mother. I hated being pregnant. I hated the whole process. This is why I tied my tubes, because I was like, no, I can't keep doing this. This is too much for me. My whole life has been tragic after tragic after tragic moment because I didn't learn quick enough and catch up quick enough and understand what I was doing. I wasn't being accountable. I wasn't doing the work until I did the work. And what I realized is, yeah, you do have mental issues. You do got disabilities, but they don't have to hurt the world this bad. You got to change. You got to do the work. You got to really understand what's wrong with you and be accountable and do better, because you'll never be able to get rid of these issues. Your brain is never going to heal. You're never going to be not disabled, but you can be a little bit more balanced so you're not such a burden to everybody else. My burden of all of this that I was born with and brought into, environmentally given to me, broke my children. And I feel so bad about it. So I'm going to go back into my little shell, people, go back into my world, minding my business. I'm going to give my children all the space in the world because that's what they need. Because at one point, my children did really love me. And right now, I do not feel my children actually love me. Even when they say the words, I don't feel it. And that could be because of my detachment issues. But I don't feel it. In my soul, I don't feel it. And it hurts so bad because the one thing that makes you successful in life is supposed to be family. And that's the one thing I've never really had to get to hold on to. Family, friends, any of that. And I did it. It's my fault I don't have family and friends. Don't you see a narrative here? I'm the root cause. I'm the problem. I'm the one who taught people how to abuse and use me because that's what I learned as a child. And yeah, it hurts to say, like, I'm the reason why you're treating me bad. So I had to change and set healthy boundaries. And now I don't have anybody around because those people don't know how to treat me any other way. And so I have to learn moving forward, and anybody I meet that's new, how to show them how to treat me with healthy boundaries and things that are good for me. But that's all too late for my children. And I was hoping I did all this work and we could come together now. We could be family now. But I don't know how you come back from a child doing this to you. How could you ever trust a person? He's not a kid. He's a grown man. See, I let everything go because he used to be a kid. I can't let the stuff go that he's doing as a man. And he's doing it on purpose. He knows what he's doing. He knows better. You kids have all the information in the palm of your hands. You know what healthy boundaries are. You know what trauma is. Yet you're inflicting it on purpose anyway to people who didn't know what they were doing to you. Some parents do abuse their kids on purpose. Some parents are jealous. Some parents are mean. Some parents don't want their kids to succeed at anything. That was not me. I love my kids. I gave my kids the world that I could give them with the best that I could. And all this head up here, fucked it all up. This heart, fucked it all up. My trauma, my pain, fucked it all up. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for even mentioning my son's situation with his marriage. That was not proper because that person wasn't even in this. I never met that woman. I don't know nothing about them, so I shouldn't have brought it up. I was wrong. I'm wrong about a lot. I'm still learning. Even my response video is probably wrong because that's how I talk now. But imagine back in the day when I was raw. You think I'm raw now? And I cuss like a sailor. And I speak directly and I know how to tear people down. I'm wrong. And I'm trying to be right. And since I'm not allowed to fix this situation, I'm going to remove myself from the situation because going off to die somewhere is not solving the problem. The problem is my children need to heal and I need to allow them space to heal. So I won't contact no more. I won't check on nobody. I will give the space. I will leave this continent. I will set my children free of me. I apologize to everybody who got brought into this and all this nonsense that you guys are running with. And y'all are still running with this narrative about these celebrities. You know they got money to sue y'all. Y'all saw what Cardi B did. And I will testify and show the evidence of the stuff that my son is not telling the truth on. I would not have cared anything about any of this if my son would have just not mentioned people and then brought lies into the situation. If y'all notice, if you go look back on his timeline, he been talking. Why are we just now saying something to him? Because you are bringing in other people. You're saying things that didn't happen. You're saying stuff about your father and them. Okay, cool. But it's everybody else that I don't understand. So, son, talk directly just to us. You don't got to bring all the other people in. You ain't got to make the story seem way more than what it is. It's bad enough. It's fucked up enough. You've embarrassed us. You put business out. You made us look like fools. All these things. Fine. Okay. We deserve that. But when are you going to stop? Because is this healing you? Is it solving the problem? Is it getting you what you want? Because I'm just going to move on from this and let this go. I'm not going to let this be the end of me. I'm just going to let it go. It's not going to stop me from anything. It's not going to destroy anything. The only thing I have to worry about is if you're actually a threat to me and the fact that you made false and fake reports on me and your siblings about all this crazy shit that you've done. And for what? Because I checked on you. So I'm sorry for checking on you, and I'm sorry for the words that I used in the email. And I'm sorry for bringing up the past. But now I have to protect myself, son, because you're an adult and you are unhinged. I love you. Please do better because you know better, baby. Bye. I see some of you all have an issue with my handle, kids. Y'all might want to get y'all sensitive asses off this side of TikTok because I ain't what you think. My dark humor and my personality will hurt your feelings if you're worried about that handle. And don't nobody mean the kids. Y'all take everything so literal. It don't mean being accountable as a parent. It doesn't mean taking care of the kids. It doesn't mean taking steps to make changes in areas that you need to. It doesn't mean striving to be the best that you can be as a family member. That's not what the it means. So y'all might want to take y'all sensitive asses and go on over to my son page and park it. Because that's where y'all need to be. This is for grown folks over here. This is for folks who've been through shit. This is for folks who are real. This side is for folks who really want to actually see results and change. This ain't just for gossiping and just hanging out and having entertainment. Some people have asked me not to stop posting and have asked me to tell my story. So I'm going to do that. But I also want to find support, find a community of like-minded parents who know what it's like to go above and beyond and get shitted on any way, no matter what the you do. So fuck them kids means when you go above and beyond, you always showing up. You're always trying to fix it. You're always trying to make it right. You're trying to be the super person. You're trying to be everywhere at once. You're trying to make the best things in the world happen so that they can have better than you. You don't get no sleep. You go to bed late. You wake up early. You're running all day. Some of y'all got 2, 3 jobs. Out here trying to make it do what it do. bringing in 2-3 incomes. And nobody cares about you. Nobody cares if you're breathing. Nobody cares if you're okay. And the same people you give all that to will wake up one day and disrespect you and say, F you. And that's when you're supposed to say, them kids. Because you can't keep putting the mask on them. You're supposed to put your mask on first. Yeah, you address things that are needing to address. You can't address somebody manipulating or playing with you in a way that's supposed to be just, oh, okay, they're having a bad day. No, that's not how that works. You got to set healthy boundaries. You got to let know this ain't what the fuck it is. You got to be direct sometimes. And so you're so afraid these days as parents to abuse them because look at what these kids are doing. And we're going to have some children in the corn running around here because you keep telling these kids they're not responsible for their actions as children. So I guess if a 9-year-old tells their parent, I'm going to stab you, and they get a knife and go in your room in the middle of the night and stab you in your chest and you die, I guess we're going to say, oh, they're just a kid. They didn't know any better. And we ain't going to do nothing about it. That's how y'all acting. Y'all act like parents can't defend themselves. Y'all act like parents don't have a right to ever put themselves first. So to all of y'all on that time, fuck them kids.
Them kids. The kids? Yeah.
This is the FDK committee, baby. This might not be the side of TikTok you want to be on. And I am not what you think I am. I'm hard. I'm aggressive. I'm not what you all say I look like. Sorry to disappoint. I've been disappointed in that way my whole life. But I'm a real and I'm talking about real shit. This ain't no foo-foo time. This ain't no games. Y'all opened the can of worms. My son made me come out here. And so let's get into it. So all of the parents who know what fuck them kids mean, gather here. Let's support each other. Let's be there for each other. Let's truly heal without the lies, manipulation, and clout chasing. Let's show these low frequency people what high frequency really looks like. So I've finally been able to go through my inbox. It's so overwhelming. It's a lot going on in there. I don't even know where to begin. I didn't know it was that many comments. I had responded to some comments, but they're coming in so fast that I don't think I can keep up with all of them. So I'll try my best to keep up with as many as I can. This is new to me, so never expected this. Wakes up one day and then everybody is looking for you. So this is, you gotta give me some grace so I can figure out how this all works, because I'm not even a real big social media person. I want to send out virtual hugs to a lot of the parents. Any of you that are dealing with anything close to what I'm dealing with, or even worse or less, it's just, you're dealing with something similar. I'm sorry, and I wish I could hug you. A lot of you are inboxing me and telling me your stories. I thought I was alone. I didn't know this was a thing like this. And then I thought it was only in certain communities. So now that I'm seeing that it's everybody, doesn't matter what culture you are, these kids are out of control. So I had looked up, basically what abuse really means, and there is categories to abuse, but a lot of what these children are stating as abuse isn't falling into these categories. Now, I already know for a fact, because I've been going through therapy, what category of abuse I've inflicted on my children and where everything lands. It's just continued learning, especially for people like me. But with the way that parenting keeps changing and how children are becoming smarter in areas that are more devious instead of good. And they're using their wits and intelligence for bad or to hurt their parents and family. And they're growing up saying certain things are traumas, or, you know, my mom was toxic. And some things have to be defined. And a chart, yes, can break down, which I have a chart, it can break down what abuse technically is. But we need to have a discussion in detail about certain tones of voice, certain uses of words, because every child doesn't learn the same, and every child doesn't receive information in certain tones. So how do you figure that out as a parent if you got multiple kids? And then if you do figure it out, what does that look like to manage and in a way where every child stays ultimately healthy and unscathed? Is that even possible? Parents are gonna make mistakes. Like, I've dropped my son before. Technically on that chart, that's abuse because it's a physical slight injury because he got a bruise. So if you look on the chart that I'm gonna show you, bruising is on there. It's low on the spectrum, but it's on there. And then if your child received moderate to low abuse, but they're saying it was severe, how do you deal with that? Because that's their trauma. So if it was severe to them, but maybe not severe to somebody else, how do we deal with that? So I would like to open up a discussion on what abuse actually is and how to remove it without causing an imbalance in power and giving them too much versus giving them too little or being too hard on them. Like, where does that line get drawn with each child? Is it even possible? And then balancing all of that, how does the parent stay healthy and their mind right and them on the, you know, a balanced life, work, play schedule? Is that even possible? Is 2-parent homes required? Or is it really, it takes a village and we don't have the village anymore? What do you think?
Turn the gray to day. Enjoy all moments, let your spirit soar.
Hey everybody. I see there's a lot of reposts and comments saying that I'm lying. And I see a lot of you defending me, and I appreciate it. And so my question to all of the people is, what am I lying about exactly? I've said sorry to my kids multiple times for years. I have been apologizing since they were babies. I have emails from way, way back. I told y'all I keep everything. The little pictures I posted are not even half of what I got. For those of you that are so concerned about me disregarding my son's feelings, that's not the case. I want my son to get healed, and I want him to take the proper steps that he needs. There needs to be therapists, psychiatrists, medication, tools, lessons, coping skills that are learned, etc. Can't learn that through posting on social media and rage videos. And then the part about you all saying that I did this and I did that, I don't know what you guys are talking about. It seems like you all are more concerned about if I fucked a celebrity or if I was in some videos or not. I don't believe any of you who are coming over here and harassing me and my people are genuinely concerned about my son or me. I think you guys heard celebrities and just ran the off with it. That's what I believe. If this boy has been posting all this time, he's been posting about us for a long time. A long time. None of you cared. So he figured out how to get you to care. And so what you don't understand is nobody's saying that he's not speaking the truth about his trauma. We're saying he's not speaking the truth on the stories he's telling you about me where he wasn't even involved. Now he's using the word allegedly and saying, this is what I heard, hearsay. This is what my mom told me. I don't know if that's true. And then most of the story is mixed up, if it is true. So what am I lying about? The boy has been abused. What am I lying about? He has been apologized to. I have been in therapy for over 20, 30 years. I have psychiatrists. I used to be on medication. I have backup medication in case of emergencies. What am I lying about? I have set up and paid for group services for my adult kids, and none of them participated. I've tried to individually set up services, and we just go as pairs. None of them participated. So what more from you all who have your father and mother wounds and you're trauma bonding with my son? What more would you like a parent to do to make it right? I've been there for him. I've taken care of him. I made sure I financially was there for him. I made sure that I was spiritually there for them. I've motivated him. I've been proud of him. And he knows all of this. Yet he posted a video that said that I've never said he was nothing to be proud of. Yet if you look in my photo reel, there was a post from way back. It says, "I'm proud of you, son." So you guys that don't have long attention spans, we're not gonna pay attention to you. I'm sorry for your wounds. I am seriously sorry. I'm sorry for your trauma, because that's why you're doing this. You would like to lash out at your own moms and dads and whoever hurt you. But you have to realize we're all traumatized to some degree or another. So how is it fair for you all to come over here and bash me and already broken mothers and fathers when we're already traumatized? And most of us come from child abuse as well. You don't see the trend? So instead of having a conversation, your side just wants to yell and scream and holler and throw tantrums and say little words that nobody cares about, because you can't hurt our feelings, especially Gen X and up. We've heard it all, nigga, when we was 5. Don't give a fuck. We're one of the toughest generations out here, and I think you all resent us for that. So at the end of the day, what do you want me to do? What would you all like me to do for my son so he can feel comfortable and safe with whatever it is that you guys are telling me to do to make it better? Because I've done all the things. So I'm out of ideas. I'm taking suggestions, genuinely. But I don't think you all care enough. I don't think you really do. You're just going to come on here and say, "Oh, you're lying. Oh, you're just a hoe. Oh, you're this." Or you're going to mention, "Oh, at least she's pretty," which is the weirdest thing. You guys in my DMs, I'm never going to look at those. I'm going to always delete them. And I'm going to report you men harassing me and threatening me. And it's so funny that it's only men in my DMs inbox harassing me and threatening me. And you're literally listening to my son to say, "Come over to this page to harass me and do all this stuff." You all know that's illegal, right? Y'all do know that I'm working with the police and an attorney, right? My son has genuinely made death threats to me, but it's okay for him to make a death threat to me because of some things that happened when he was a child. It's okay to abuse me as an adult because of some things I did to him as a child. I don't see how that's fair that we're just going to keep the trauma and the abuse going. How does that make sense, and how does that solve the problem is what I'm wondering. So there's a real conversation to be had here, because there's too many parents in my inbox. It's too many parents with receipts like me, because parents keep everything. What parent who isn't a decent parent would keep all that? So I'm just curious as what the answer is. What is the solution here? What will you all, like us parents, because it's a ton of us, it's too many of us. What would you all, like us already traumatized, abused parents who have been trying, who have said sorry, who have changed, who have went and did the work, who've sought professional services, who have gotten healthy, who have learned what healthy boundaries means and all that. What are we supposed to do if you kids aren't actually doing the work as grown adults? What are we supposed to do? And for you parents in here who have young kids and you're shaming us, Mark my words. Your generation of children are going to be up because y'all ain't raising them right. Period. So, ha 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 on you, because you're going to look back and be like, damn, I shitted on them. And this shit is worse on me. Because y'all generation, them ones that's 10 and under, y'all are fucked. Really 15 and under. Y'all are fucked. So you can keep making your little snide remarks. Some of y'all are in the comments actually going through what we're going through now, and you're making comments to not look in the mirror. It's sad. So this is not a war, people. This is not my people go over there and fuck with my son. Apparently he's blocking everybody, so let it be blocked. But again, what exactly am I lying about? When you guys can answer that and then tell me how to fix it. Stop getting in my DMs talking about he needs a hug and just go hug him. He's threatened to kill me, run me over with his car, pick me up and choke me until I die, and has told me to take my life. I am already fragile enough. I was already in thoughts last night. I didn't sleep. I had to get it together because I feel like it's better to leave here. So please tell me, what is it that you all want me to do? Because I think everybody wants me to just ball up and die, because God forbid I tell my side of the story and I tell my truth. And I'm not bringing up celebrities, and I'm not attaching a long list of people. I'm just talking about what's going on with me. I don't need to be viral. I don't need all that attention, but I now see there's a need and a whole bunch of people here hurting. And I'm so sorry. I did not know we was out here doing a damn thing like this and just crushed. So it's a generational thing. We gave these kids way too much. We gave them way too much. And that's why I know the next few generations are because they don't know better yet. We got to go back to old time and make them earn everything. This phone has them up. Everything's instant. They can get Cashapp, sale. They can get any type of satisfaction as far as entertainment. They can buy stuff online and get it shipped to the house real quick. It's like there's no waiting. There's no earning. And then they've turned us into ATMs. So we have financial abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse. And now you're verbally abusing us publicly. And so I'm just trying to figure out, how does it solve the problem to just go back and forth and bash each other? I'm not bashing my son, and you guys are not listening. It's because you don't give a fuck. You just want to hear about celebrities and what the fuck I did with my. Let's just be real.
They stay with that drama. Let's just be real.
So I just woke up and I'm thinking that we need to get a live schedule together. Can you guys go in the comments and put what days and times are best, and the ones who get the most responses, I will put that on the schedule. And then whoever wants to volunteer or get involved with this to help, I need all the help I can get. I don't know what I'm doing. I was feeling so much pressure and it was so much going on, and the comments were the least of my worries. But I noticed the comments bothered other people and it caused triggering reactions to some folks. I want to reduce that. It's not that we don't want other sides of the story. We just need to speak to high frequency people who have done the work and the education and research. It would be nice to have people that are like-minded and those who would like to be on that journey, and then just a few opposing people versus it just being bombarded with opposing people, because I don't think we can hear the message. And then we need to set a time, and we need to have a time limit. I don't know if they do that on TikTok, but each person that speaks, we need to have a set time limit where once you get past that time limit, your statement is done and we're moving on to the next person. And then I got some tips that they like the bigger panels. So to open it up for conversation, I can do that. I'm going to get on YouTube. I'm going to learn. I'm going to figure this out, and we're going to get this under control. So everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate the vulnerability, the honesty. The one thing I do ask is, and what I do know, if you're coming to a group and you're trying to get support, you got to be honest, even though it's a vulnerable thing and you may be embarrassed. Otherwise, just don't say anything. because lying, manipulating, or gaslighting to make the situation anything than what it is does not solve the problem. And we're here to do what? Solve the problem of us being broken. And that's all we have to focus on, right? Because we're putting our masks on first and we're saying, them kids. Peace.
Everyday people.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as fast as 1 week.